Introducing Imaging, the replacement for the existing TIFF on the Fly feature. Imaging provides several advantages over TIFF on the Fly as shown here. Imaging will easily convert documents to images or reverse previously imaged documents. To image or reverse documents, select Tools, Imaging, or Reverse Previous Imaging. Pin either option to the main toolbar for easier access. The imaging window allows users to select options for properties and exclusions. On the Properties page, select one of three image types for the output: TIFF, JPEG, or PDF. On the Exclusions page, the documents selected for imaging are summarized. Documents to be excluded are sorted into two groups: optional inclusions and documents that must be excluded. To submit optional sets for imaging, select the checkbox. To reverse an image document, submit a request to reverse the imaging process. Reversal will replace the images with the file that existed prior to imaging. You can now find words in a searchable PDF and redact them. In the View pane in the Image Viewer, click the Find and Redact button. In the search box, type a word or phrase, and Ringtail displays a table with hits. Select Redaction or Highlight, and then a redaction label or highlight color. Select one or more hits, and click Apply. Ringtail applies the redactions or highlights. You can now add and sort by Content Relevance Score in the List pane. It indicates how relevant each document is to a content search compared to the other results. The score is scaled between 1 and 100, where a higher value indicates a higher relevance. To edit a field inline in the List pane, you now double-click the field. A single click makes the document the active document. Documents that fail thread analysis are identified as pivots to ensure their inclusion in review. What's new for administrators? Production print status has a new value of printing when a document is actively processing for printing. If printing is successful, the status becomes printed. If it cannot print, the status becomes error printing. Ringtail submits a new job if a job ends before all documents are marked either printed or printing error. Under Manage Documents Imaging, you can monitor imaging and imaging reversal jobs. To define settings for imaging jobs, on the Imaging page, click Settings. Settings contains the following pages: Common, Email and Website, PDF, Excel, PowerPoint, and Word. You can now enable the Reverse Previous Imaging feature separately from the Imaging feature. You can enable users to edit the TIFF on the Fly Image Request ID field to submit documents for imaging. At the portal, the TIFF page count includes pages from both imaging and TIFF on the Fly. On the Security Features page, you can control if a group has access to the Browse pane options menu. The Browse pane options menu allows users to change which sections they see and to add new sections based on pick lists. And under Analysis, the Review Conflicts button is available on the predictive coding page for a population using CAL. Adjust the sliders to find false negatives below a certain score or false positives above a certain score. Click OK to run a search for the identified documents. A new All File Paths field displays the custodian plus meta file path values for a given document. It also displays values from other documents with the same MD5 hash and family MD5 hash values. It includes values from documents suppressed during an ingestions job. You can test search term variations to see counts and make strategic decisions about terms. To test search term variants, select Test Term when adding a term to a search term family. Select the variants of the term that you want to add to that search term family. Under Security, Objects, Document Fields, you can enable the Content Relevance Score. For productions, a new QC check finds documents that lack page information needed to produce them as native files. Documents identified should be removed from the production or treated as native files. For imports, the duplicate coding option has been added. For imports, it is unchecked by default, so that values from the import are excluded from fields like all custodians. For ingestions, the Update Group Coding Fields option has been added. For ingestions, it is checked by default, so that values from the ingestion are included in fields like all custodians. Ingestions now also runs data integrity checks that compare staging detail to final metadata. If the numbers do not match, the job fails and the staging tables are preserved. For ingestions, if document IDs contain a prefix not previously used, numbering starts at 1. The Ringtail Connect API allows you to programmatically retrieve data from Ringtail. You can request data about hosted volume by case, production counts, etc., and then use that data to create custom reports or invoices. For more information about the Ringtail Connect API, see the Ringtail Connect API guide. Thank you for watching. See you next quarter.